Welcome to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. Of course, it's brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And our guest this week, Don Campbell, right? He's got his own business here. It is Donald Campbell Design Build, right? Do you go by Don or Donald?
Whatever.
Whatever works.
Don's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So you've been here at the Lake of the Ozarks for a long time.
I moved here in 1980, and I was born in Topeka, Kansas, and my stepfather got a job with the Hewlett family. It was Cliff Hewlett back then, so it was pretty neat. He worked for
The car company, right?
Yeah, Ryan and Jason's grandpa.
Wow.
So he worked for, it was Cliff, then it was Ron, and he finished with Jason before he retired, which I don't know, a lot of people can say they worked for 3 generations of a family.
All in the same location?
All in the same location.
Wow.
So,
Right off their old Highway 5 in
Exactly.
Camden. That is cool. One of the things that I loved when I was reading your bio was that you were actually in the Lake of the Ozarks Water Ski Show
Yes.
when you were a kid. How old were you when you were in that?
That was in the 5th and 6th grade. I loved water skiing and tried out for the show. We were the junior skiers. We just had a little pyramid with 2 boys and a girl, and we took off the dock and we skied around, and then we landed on the ramp. It was a lot of fun. I would have kept doing that, but the water show actually moved to Cypress Garden, Florida, so that's the only reason I quit doing that.
I think I've seen some pictures of you. You know, like you go to Stewart restaurants and they've got those old pictures on the wall. There's some water ski show pictures
Yes.
in there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if they can still do the water show today, because where it's at, it's directly off the main channel. So
but might be too busy.
yeah, a little rough.
Yeah.
But
So you must have been a pretty good water skier then, huh?
I was. That's what I loved about living at the lake. My stepdad actually, when he would get home from work, I'd have the boat uncovered and we'd go water skiing before dinner every night.
Wow.
And early in the mornings, Saturday and Sunday morning. So
And you didn't even need a huge boat for that back then, right? 'Cause
No.
the lake was so much more quiet.
yes. It's funny you say that. When I moved here, we had an 18-foot boat and we bought a 24-foot boat, and all my family's friends want to know why we were such snobs, why we needed this huge 24-foot boat, which
Yeah.
is laughable today.
Back in that day, that was big. Now it's, you
Yes.
got to be careful
Yes.
not to get swamped with that. So after all these years, you have your own business here, design build. So do you build houses? Do you design houses? What do you do?
I mainly just do the design side of it. I have a bunch of builders I work with. I designed Big Thunder's showroom, and then I actually did general contract the Staples building for Big Thunder. So pretty proud of that. Got that totally remodeled in about 3.5 months,
Wow.
which there was a lot. We took up the tile floors, polished them, repainted everything, put offices, a new roof, new sound system, sealed the parking lot. I mean, it was a new building, so.
And you've got your own business here, you design houses and stuff, but in your career, you've done some pretty amazing things. I mean, I was reading your resume, you helped design and build Arrowhead Stadium and New England Patriots Stadium and some NHL places. I mean, these are some pretty cool
Yes.
places.
Yep. I started doing that before I was actually out of college, and I worked on the New England Patriots Stadium. We had a team, so starts out with a small group and gets really big, then small, and then you have to go to the punch list. So then you got to take a whole bunch of people you can imagine in an NFL stadium. But
Yeah.
I did the Patriots. I worked on the Arizona Cardinals for a while. I worked on Arrowhead for about 3.5 years, a couple arenas, a couple college. I got to work on my alma mater, Kansas State. We did a little wall around the football stadium.
Yeah.
I put the K-State Power Cat on the gates, and they managed to do that.
Wow.
But yeah, and then in 2008, everything stopped. I went to work for a firm, Burns McDonald, did some stuff in Doha, then that stopped, and then I moved back to the lake. I worked for a couple other people and quickly realized I just needed to go do my own thing. So I think I've been designing houses at the lake for probably about 13 years.
You picked a good time to do it
Oh, definitely.
because it's been booming over
Oh,
those
it's been
13
crazy.
years.
I think in 2020, I did over 200 houses. I have no employees. I know that I go to the real estate symposiums, and 3 years ago, there was about 360 houses built at the lake, and I did 180 of them.
Wow.
So that year, at least, I did about half the houses at Lake of the Ozarks.
That is pretty amazing. So do you look at these stadiums that you helped design and build over the years, like Arrowhead Stadium? You're watching Chiefs games, you're going like, I put that in. I did that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yes. It was kind of a boring task. I redid all the seat sections in Arrowhead Stadium, because if you ever went before, the aisle was the center of a section. So half the seats were on one side, the other half were on the other side, and I'm like, we just don't do it like that these days. So when we put new seats in, we renumbered all the seats too, so that it made sense. That was interesting too, because it was hand drawn.
Yeah.
Because it was built in 68, 69, 70. They'd also made all these changes over the years, and there were no documentation of any of that.
Wow.
So I before the project started, put it all in the computer, brought it up to date. Some of the geometries were even wrong, because the corners had like 5 different radiuses, and they were about 8 feet from meeting. So one of the senior guys that actually was in charge of it, I gave him a hard time about it, and his answer was always, "Well, it's out there, isn't it? It's out there standing."
Seems to be working.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a computer like you young guys do today.
Oh my gosh.
That was a lot of fun.
Don Campbell here in town. He's got Donald Campbell Design Build. We'll continue to talk about his business and these stadiums that you've helped build and so much more. So don't go anywhere. This is the COMC Community Spotlight Show. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. We've got Don Campbell, our friend, Don Campbell Design Build, right there in Osage Beach. Got a new office, just built a new office right off of Highway 54 at the Grand Glazed Bridge.
Yes, I'm behind the Elks. It's real modern, and a lot of people notice I can change the color of the lights.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of fun with that. You know, green for St. Patrick's Day. I had purple, yellow, and green for Mardi Gras, the holidays. And what's funny is my friends that have young kids, they love to see when I change the colors, but most of the time it's just white. And they're so disappointed when it's just white. I'm like, well, that's what it's supposed to be. I don't change the color just for anything, but you know, I'll make it purple for K-State or I'm a big Lakers guy, so the Lakers, or red for the Chiefs, and just any reason I can.
That's a cool location right up there on that bluff. When you first started building, I drove by there several times. I wonder what's going in up there. That's a great spot. And that's probably why you built there.
It is. Believe it or not, I can see over I can see the Racket Club over on HH. I can see all the way down the channel. I can see the toll bridge.
Wow.
So it'll start raining or snowing down there, and it'll take 10 or 15 minutes before it gets to my office. But
you see it coming.
Yes.
Yep. Love that. Okay, so I read in your bio that you were bitten by a jaguar or something like that.
Yes.
How in the world do you get bit by a jaguar? Were you in Africa on a safari or something?
No. There was a couple that lived here at Lake of the Ozarks, Bruce and Reba Anderson. They had a really unique house. It was an underground rock castle, and it was down Jeffries Road, just past Dog Days. And they actually had 2 jaguar cats. The younger one was a black jaguar. We have some pictures of that. And when it was young, my brother and I got to go play with it, and we were just kind of horse playing, and it kind of scratched my arm, and I had a little scar for a while, and I just thought it was really cool to tell people that I got bit by a jaguar.
Right, yeah. Because I'm getting like safari thoughts, you know. I'm in the jungle, big cat, you know.
They really were an interesting couple. They had a jaguar car as well.
Okay.
But they had a limo, and it was just the 2 of them. So one of them would ride in the back and one would ride in the front.
Interesting.
So I almost ended up buying the house, but it didn't work out. And now some guy cleared the dirt off the roof and built a house on top of it, which I'm sorry, but it just kind of took away from the whole coolness of it. But
yeah. I wonder if he can still go down in the old house, I'm guessing.
yes,
Can?
yes.
Well, that's cool.
Yes.
That's neat. First time I met you was in conjunction with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Yes.
Right? So along with being so busy with business and designing houses and all that stuff, you spend a lot of time giving to Big Brothers and Big. Why is that important to you?
I'm a single guy. I have no children, and it seems like a great cause. I'm in a program where I have a little that's School of the Osage. I just go see him at lunch once a week. And then Allison Martin, she really doesn't like to get up in front of people, and I don't mind. So we actually have something tomorrow and Wednesday as well, just talking to different groups in the community and trying to, get support and get more bigs. So we're really excited. We just got into Camington School District, which she and I are from, but we never have been able to get into. It's always just been School of the Osage. So pretty excited about that.
That is exciting.
Yes.
And so necessary and needed in our society today where families have been split up and kids grow up with a single parent. And so it's really pretty important to get and you call them bigs. Where
we're the bigs and they're the littles.
Adult spends time with a kid.
My little, his father's not in the home. He's unfortunately gotten some legal trouble, and his mom works a lot. So the only father figure he has is his grandfather. So I go see him once a week. If I have to always call and make sure he's there. He doesn't have perfect attendance, and then try to fit it into my schedule. But it's very rewarding. I mean, I'm excited to see he's a very good athlete. So I just hope, like I said, someday you're in the Super Bowl or something. Are you going to remember?
Yeah.
Are you going to remember Don?
Do they need more adults to help out?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How would they go about volunteering or getting involved?
Lake area Big Brothers Big Sisters, or reach out to Allison Martin. She's in charge of the project, or the program.
Yeah.
So
Allison Martin, great lady, and
Yes.
obviously Scotty. Scott's Concrete.
And Scotty does a lot too.
Yeah.
Basically we do all our fundraising in 2 events. We have a dinner at Baxter's. They help us out, and then we have a golf tournament the following day at Portosema, and just donations from local people and stuff.
Right.
But
And I'm guessing they have a website, Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yep, Lake area Big Brothers Big Sisters.
So you can check that out if you want. They do need adults, volunteers to help and stuff like that. If folks are interested in your design build business, designing houses and stuff, how do they go about getting that started? Do they call you, go to your website?
Yeah,
what do they do?
believe it or not, I get a lot of people from Facebook, but people just reach out to me. I work with a lot of builders, so a lot of builders, someone will go to the builder and then they'll come meet with me. I would say most of the time people have, I sit down with them and, what's your budget? And, I have kind of a grocery list of, how many bedrooms and garages and what do you want it to look like?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people will start out with a plan they like, but then they're like, okay, but I like this kitchen and I like this master bathroom, but then I want it to look like this on the outside, which sometimes doesn't match the rest of it. That's where it gets a little interesting. But
yeah. And you have to work with all that and bring it all together.
Yeah, and it's a process. I mean, it takes a couple of rounds of changes to get there. I've done a house that was literally over a boathouse garage, all the way up to 15,000 square feet. Yeah. So I have people that say, I want to do a little house. That's probably not. I'm like, no, I'll bring it in. Let's talk about it. Yeah. So.
And what's your website?
Donald Campbell Design Build.
Donald Campbell Design Build. Don, thanks for your time.
Yes.
Appreciate it. We'll have you back because there's more to talk about here. Thank you for joining us for this week's COMC Community Spotlight Show.